Welcome back again to the Cheltenham Exchange, and we are going to have a little bit of an experiment. We don't know how this is really going to work, but obviously this week we've had some of the early entries for the festival, some of the main races. So we thought we'll give it a bash, see how it goes, have a little work through the cards. The lads off the cuff can sit here, discuss the cards, maybe totally dismiss a few of the entries that are already in there, and rather than potentially picking out a selection as such, maybe just give a few pointers and uncover a little bit of value. So yeah, all a bit, don't know how it's going to go, but we shall see. So first race that we're going to have a look at, and really shouldn't take too long, is the Champion Hurdle. So obviously everybody's well aware that Constitution Hill is probably about 5-1 on or something. Ian's got the card up here. 3-1 on.
In a minute.
Best odds available. So yeah, we're there's probably not much discussion, but what have we got in behind, boys? Have we got things in here that we think may not run? What have we got there? State Man second favourite, obviously. We've got a few people. Our old friend Carl is convinced that State Man will beat Constitution Hill. I think, don't think any of us quite agree with that.
No, I don't.
Lost it, yeah, straight away. Have a look. They did say the other day Vauban potentially is going to be running here.
I thought a while ago they said that he was never going to run over hurdles again, and now he's been entered for the champion hurdle. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't know.
You see him reversing form with State Man. I was in the Vauban camp last year, but yeah, I don't see anything particularly that would make me think Vauban's going to get near State Man.
I think that's the big question with this race, isn't it? It's just trying to find out really what's going to finish third, because I mean, Constitution Hill will probably win. If he doesn't, then it'll be State Man. Either way, they'll be the first two. Like, you can probably pick something at like 50, 60, 80-1 at the moment that might you finish third. There's a few of them in. Like, I mean, Burdett Road's going to go, obviously not for this race. That'll be in the Triumph. Gardamarso will be in the Mares. Lucia will be in the Mares. Don't think Zarek the Braves are any good. Love Envoy will be in the Mares.
Price-wise, his horse not so sleepy, 66-1. And he's not done too bad. I know he's 12, but he's won a couple of times this season. But you may be scraping the barrel, I think, if you think he's going to place. But I think that's how desperate this race is going to get. Say half of them.
Do you think with not so sleepy, if he likes to go off the front, doesn't he? If he goes off the front against Constitution Hill, surely you're not going to last that
there.
I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't hold out much hope for him being able to go the whole hog.
One on the screen there, I think, is probably a bit overpriced. Is Zana here? I mean, he was third the last 2 years. I know he's been chasing, but that you can get 50-1 with William Hill, non-runner money back. And I think if he did run in this race and the field was what you'd expect it to be, I don't think you'd get 50-1 on the day, and you wouldn't get 3 places either. So that might be worth a little pop, but just difficult, really, isn't it?
What do we reckon? Probably 5 or 6 runners on the day, maybe?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
I mean, you might Limpere Pass probably go stayers, will he? And Bob Ollinger, maybe Aintree, who knows?
Yeah.
Echoes in Rain, not sure. I'd love to see Lossiemouth run here, but I think it may be a year too early, perhaps. Maybe they'll run Mares this year, and if she wins that one, they might come here next year, perhaps. Burdett Road entry was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly they hold him in high regard if they've put him in this.
Yeah, that is a very interesting entry. That, I mean, whether he'll go is another thing, but it's a bit of a mad one.
Yeah, when's the last time a 4-year-old
Irish points going? Stayers?
Yeah, I think he'll go stayers.
Yeah.
Like 80% of the horses that are entered are going to either run somewhere else or they're just. I mean, some of the ones at the bottom are just crap, really, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Like Alex says, either Xana here or maybe Pied Piper are the ones that you might be better backing each way at a big price. I can't see where else Pied Piper can go apart from here.
So, I mean, from that, just that little bit we've said, I mean, you're looking at a similar sort of feel to last year, really, aren't you? You're looking at the old, what's the word? The old, oh no, I don't know.
I'd have loved to have seen Marine Nationale stay over hurdles for one season and take them, and for them to take on Constitution Hill. I think that would have been good. But yeah, he's bottled it.
So we could be looking at Connie, Stateman, Xana, Pied Piper. Something else you reckon not so sleepy might go here, Ian?
I think so. There was 7 in the race last year. I think you'd be hard pushed to get 6 or 7 again. I think.
Yeah.
So a lot of these are all mares that seem to be entered for whatever reason, but
I guess they enter some of them probably just in case their main horse perhaps doesn't make it, so they've got another entry in there. So say something happened to State Man or whatever, he'll put one of the others in, won't he? So.
And Nigel's put in guard your dreams at the bottom there. Just obviously try and pick a bit of place money, probably.
Yeah,
a bit of prize money off something because he's got no chance in this kind of race. But yeah.
What about Bob in there? What are we thinking with Bob in there?
I think, I don't know, it's a difficult one with Rob Cord. I mean, obviously with Bob winning and Irish Point, I can't see all 3 of them going in the Stayers hurdle. I think Bob will probably go. I think the original plan maybe was Irish Point to go to Aintree over 2.5. So now Bob has come out and won the real queue. I think he'll go Aintree, and I think the other 2, Tihupu and Irish Point, will go to the Stayers.
I'd be surprised if they actually ran him at the festival. I think they'll go straight for Aintree. They seem to have worked out, they've got him in a good sort of rhythm now. He's winning races. There's no point in putting him in something where he can't win again.
Yeah.
And sort of sending him back down that spiral he was in before.
Yeah.
Just keep him fresh for Aintree, I would. And then if you want to run him at Punchestown afterwards, you can.
Liking that. Okay, so we knew it wasn't going to be a massive discussion point. Champion Hurdle, Constitution Hill is obviously a very hot favourite. State Man, can he get close? But Alex, you think Xana could be a bit of value for a place?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if he comes back over hurdles and if he runs in this, he wouldn't be 50-1, and you wouldn't get 3 places. So, I think it's probably a half decent bet. But
Johnny, I guess you wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah, I'd say him or Pied Piper, one of the 2.
Yeah,
if you're looking for a bit of value down the bottom there, who probably will go. I mean, with Xana, you might have to wait until you see where his next entry is. I would suspect if it's over fences again, they might persist with him, mightn't they? But
yeah, I mean, if you get non-running money back though, Johnny, it's a bet to nothing, isn't it? Really, at 50s. Yeah. If you get, I mean, if he was 25-1 at that, and he was 66-1 normally, I probably wouldn't think about it. But the fact these 50s, and you can get 66-1 normally, I'd probably take a chance on the 50s.
Well, we might. Aren't the DRF entries due out the weekend or this week soon? You might have more of an idea then. I think if it's only the first entries, if Xana here gets one, might be worth keeping an eye on.
Lovely. Right, that's Champion Hurdle early analysis done, boys. The next one we're going to have a look at. We're going to have a look at the Mares Hurdle, Ian.
Look at the Mares.
Okay, so a little look at the Mares Hurdle. Lossiemouth, still pretty hot favourite at the moment. Good old favourite of Johnny's, Lossiemouth. What do you think of Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I like quite a few in this race. It's quite hard to pick one out really, but obviously I've picked Gala Marceau, haven't I, for an Ante-Post pick. That was kind of hoping at the time that Lossie would go to the Champion Hurdle, but we haven't really seen either of them, have we, for a long time. So hopefully we see them very soon and see, who comes out the best. But Yeah, I mean, I think both of these horses you need to cover at some point, whether you've been doing it earlier on in the season or via other means. But yeah, it's quite a competitive race, this one, as far as I can see. Obviously, no honeysuckle in there anymore, so the top 5 or 6 all look quite strong.
Echoes in Rain been running a lot on the flat, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's run over the long distance of 2.5 miles on the flat. But did he go
Marie's
necessarily?
Rock
I'm
in
not
there,
sure.
Ian. What are you thinking?
Marie's Rock.
Falling out of love with her, have you?
She was disappointing again, I think, when I went to see her New Year's Day. But I think there's probably about 5 or 6 horses I think you could pick in front of her in a minute. Disappointing. I thought she might have been a big one for the stayers, but she's obviously shown that she doesn't stay the 3 miles. And what's she now, 9? I think she might just be a bit too old now for some of these up and comers.
I had the complete opposite. I thought Bob was brilliant, and I thought that she actually did pretty well on New Year's Day. I mean, if you look to take Bob out of the race, she's beaten 2 horses that are sort of 147 rated hurdlers, and I mean she's comfortably beaten Brewing Up a Storm and Strong Leader. I thought she was pretty good. I think she might be well worth a bet each way if you can get some decent odds. I mean, she's what, a 150 mare, and you've got Lucia who's priced up lower than her, and she's had 4 attempts to win a hurdle off a mark in the 130s and only won one of those races. So
yeah.
I think Marie's Rock could still be a decent price. And I mean, a lot of these horses haven't got a lot of experience, have they? They're ahead of her in the market. I don't know.
Good point.
I thought she was pretty good on New Year's Day, and I've never been a particularly big fan of her, but I was quite taken by her. I thought she was. To me, it was a step back in the right direction.
It's tougher here, isn't it? Because you know that for a lot of these, this will be the target race. It's dissimilar to the Champion Hurdle from that perspective, where we know most of those are not going to be running. This race is probably going to be the target for a lot of these. Anybody any thoughts on Zenta there at 25s?
No interest.
I quite liked her last year.
I'm glad they've brought Tell Me Something Go back over hurdles, though, because she could barely jump a hurdle, and then they decided to send her over fences, and that just seemed like an absolute, probably the worst idea they've had. I don't think she can win, but I think for the horse's safety, most importantly, I think it's a good thing that she's come back over hurdles.
Would you think the same about Brandy Love as well?
Oh,
yeah, she jumps like a fridge, doesn't she? So probably say about Allegory Devassi. She also jumps like a fridge. Get her back over hurdles.
Yeah, there's one down there, OJ, that I've had an interest in, but she hasn't been out yet, and that's the one of Henry's Lantry Lady, which is interesting that she's been entered, but there's no sign of her. Still no entries, just one hurdle run. And that's it. It's a bit funny that she's been left in there. So I'm awaiting an entry. She's in the tracker waiting for it to spring up, but nothing as yet.
Okay. Want to keep an eye on?
Want to keep an eye on, yeah. She won very well at Gorham Park last time, but it was like last March, so just nothing at all. So I don't know what about her well-being, but she's had an entry, so she must be, sound.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Funny one, really, but yeah, it's one to keep an eye on, see if she does get an entry. Lovely.
You wear it well. I wonder if our friend Geordie Joe's got any.
Geordie Joe.
Got any info on here? I know he did a stable tour with Jamie Snowden earlier in the season, didn't he?
He's too busy wanking about Mascada, isn't it? Is that the horse that he likes?
Oh, God, yeah. Mascada. I don't know if he's got an entry.
Oh, no, sorry, that's the Mayor's Chase, isn't it?
Mayor's Chase.
Yeah, ignore me.
She won't get anywhere near Dino Blue in that anyway.
Okay. Generally, we think this is still pretty open then at the moment.
Yeah, so it's totally the opposite of what we're saying about the Champion Hurdle. So I think a majority of these, are going to run in this. And it should be a good race. But, it's Lost Your Mouth is the one is we're yet to see her to come out yet. And does she stay will she go the trip? Same with
She will. I thought she was superb last year. Absolutely superb.
And hopefully we'll see Gala Marceau Doncaster, we believe, at the end of the month. So fingers crossed.
If we get to the 1st of March and we're due like monsoon weather for a few weeks, I'll certainly have a few pound on Love Envoy.
Yeah.
But if the ground's any better than that, I don't think she really has a chance. She needs a bog, doesn't she? Really? Well, to beat some of these, she'll need a bog for it to come in her favour.
I mean, it's been a pretty wet bloody season so far, hasn't it? And God knows what they're promising over the next few weeks. But you always tell us, Alex, that course drains very nicely, and yeah.
No rain here forecast for the next week or so, I don't think, and it is starting to dry out around sort of like the edges of the course. There's no more. It's not sodden anymore, so
okay.
Well, you've got a long way to go anyway. So
long way to go, and that's the whole point. So nothing in here at a bigger price that really sticks out. Maybe keep an eye on the McConnell horse that Johnny was on about.
Henry, yeah.
Oh, it's Henry horse. Sorry, yeah.
Lantry Lady.
Yeah. Maybe see what's going on there, because she's not ran for over a year there by the look of it, is it?
Yeah, well, last March it was, so 10 months.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Are we going to stick with the hurdles, go and have a quick look at the stayers hurdle, and then we maybe...
let's do that. Go stairs.
Let's go and have a look at the stayers.
This race is bad enough on the day, never mind January.
Well, I mean, last year we didn't know what was going on, did we? And it's a bit like that again this year, isn't it?
It's like this every year, pretty much.
Yeah. Irish Point, though, I've got to say, I was praying Irish Point would go here because, yeah, I'm I'm very much a juvenile when it comes to the Ante-Post betting, but I did jump on Irish Point for the stayers at about 20-1, I think I had earlier in the season. Yeah.
I must admit, out of the two Rob Core ones, I prefer Irish Point to Tea-Poo. I'm not convinced that Cheltenham's the course for Tea-Poo, to be perfectly honest, based on the runs there so far. Just don't think it suits. I think Irish Point would definitely be the better of the two at those odds.
I think Irish Point's probably more versatile with the ground. Would you agree? I think Tea-Poo, I think if it was, as you said, like soft or heavy, I think he'd be the one to beat. But I think the slightest chance he'd probably be good to soft, I would say, like he normally is for the festival. I think Irish Point might just have the edge. And then you've got this French horse, the French Raider, Felmay. Is that how you pronounce it, OJ? A lot of people seem to be...
No idea. Theleme? Theleme?
A lot of people are very keen on that. It's not one I've played yet, really. I think I missed the boat on it now, so may leave it until the day, see if you get drift or something on it.
4-1, yeah. You're probably not gonna get much lower, you wouldn't have thought. There was did I read something the other day that someone said Flooring Porter could go back over hurdles? Or was that just a load of shite?
I think he's got an interesting case. I think he's apart from his win at Cheltenham earlier in the season, I think he's disappointed again, and I think he was beaten recently, wasn't he? Quite.
Yeah, he was third the other week.
He was running all over the place, wasn't he, after the last?
But
that Theleme, I think all of his form in France has been on either heavy or very soft ground. I mean, if we get like a decent ground festival that we normally do, it's normally good to soft unless there's like an absolute deluge, isn't it? It could be a concern whether he'll handle the ground, but I mean, I've got no idea about French racing, and I think most people who follow British racing wouldn't really follow French racing as well. So I don't know. No idea.
A lot of hype, hasn't there?
If he comes and wins at 4-1, having never won in Britain, fair enough, fair play to them. But it wouldn't be something that would be having my money. Having seen a few of these, remember there was what was that horse that came over for JP McManus, the cross country horse that was supposed to be
Easy's Land,
and he had Easy's Land won one, didn't it? It was Prengard or something.
Prengard, yeah.
There was like, he could give them all an hour's head start, and he's still in the cross country. And that I don't think that horse won a single race.
No,
I don't think
terrible.
it barely beat another horse around the track. So you
And
never
who
know
was
what
the
these
other
horses are
one?
going to be like from France, do you?
Wasn't there a French horse in this last year? And
Yeah, Gold Tweet.
in the grey colours. Was it grey?
Yeah, Gold Tweet. Everybody was wanking about that as well, and it was shit. So
What's crazy is you've got Dashel Drasher in there at 40-1, and he actually beat Ante-Post last year. Ante-Post's 4-1. Now I know Ante-Post probably improved a bit, but Dashel Drasher is still a game horse at 40-1. It's ridiculous, the price discrepancy when he beat him there last year. It's just crazy.
Champ 40-1 as well, Johnny.
Yeah, no
I know what happened the other week, but yeah.
You know who I'd be interested in if he reverted to hurdles, and that'd be a Hoy Senor. I'd love to see him over hurdles again.
Johnny.
We talked
well,
about this last
injury.
year, didn't we? We talked about this last year.
He would do well in this if he ran.
He's an Aintree horse, Johnny.
Yeah, but he's won it. He's done all right here before, hasn't he?
What about Crambo then, Alex?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I just love him. I think he's got a smashing chance. I don't think it's, as everyone said, it's not particularly a vintage renewal. If it was a particularly good renewal, I wouldn't be backing him. But this kind of thing, I think he can certainly win this. Yeah, I'll be getting stuck in.
Yeah.
Ahoy Senor's record round Cheltenham is 2-1 fell, so it's not that bad. And he could have won that race against Long Press if he hadn't made that massive blunder about 4 out. He was gaining at the end. So I just think he could go well in this, but it's a pipe dream. It probably won't happen with it.
You never know.
You never know.
Sir Gerhard, anybody?
Possibly. As long as it's not bottomless ground. I'm not saying he gets it in really deep ground, but if it
He's
was
one of them
decent
horses.
ground,
Does he stay 3 mile?
well,
He should do, but you never know. I think there could be ones that are finishing stronger than him.
yeah.
Good old Blazing Coals in there as well.
Is he not going the Browns this year?
Again, it's not. Yeah, it's got an entry, but it's concerning. It's similar last year, wasn't it? Where he didn't have a run and then had a couple quite quickly and then done nothing this race. But
Who was the Charles Burns horse that came over and won that Potemps qualifier back in like October last year? And then everybody said he was going to shit home in the Potemps and he was going to be the Stayers horse for the next year. Who was that? He won that Potemps qualifier that Ziggy was like 3rd in or 4th.
Yeah, didn't he get injured? I can't think of his name.
He was like 2 or 3 to 1 for the Potemps at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I can't think.
Shoot first. Is he in it?
Oh, let's have a look.
No, don't.
Shoot first. Going down. Monkfish.
Monkfish.
Oh,
Shambilly Kid, Alex.
Shambally Kid.
Oh, there he is.
I like the
No,
kid.
and to answer your question, no, Alex, it doesn't look like he is.
So he wasn't the second coming in Jesus Christ like everybody told us last year then.
100-1, Alex. Shambally.
Alex is going to go lump on Shambilly now.
No, I'm not.
100-1.
I did like him for last year though.
He flopped as well, didn't he?
I think a lot of the ones in that battle last year, the better horses were the ones that didn't place and didn't come anywhere. Funny thing to say, but I don't know.
What's the price on Home by the Lee there?
Let's have a look.
Oh,
I know.
that.
I mean, yeah, I know. We kept saying it last year, didn't we? Can't have it. But
That 40-1, what Johnny was saying about Dashel Drasher could be a good one.
He's a horse that always runs his race, isn't he? You know, very rarely get a bad race from him.
But you're guessing that there's a few there, isn't there, around that sort of 40-1 price where you think, well, this is going to be their race. So they're going to be there on the day and they could be shorter than what's available now, depending on how it gets up. But yeah.
I don't think I'd back any of those ones at 33-1 plus, even with someone else's money.
Yeah. Not even my 50 pence is in my coffee jar, Alex.
No,
On Champ. Do you
Stick
think
them
it's
all on
one?
Crambo.
The Dashel
Stick it on the Crambo. Come on, the Crambo.
Dashel Drasher's form on the new course is 1-2-2-2. So you know what I mean? It's not bad, is it? For a 40 to 1 shot.
Second to Crambo.
There you go. We've got the forecaster. Exactor in.
Sire de Burley will still be winning this in 2027
Paisley Park will be third in it in 2027 as well. He'll have a flat spot 2 furlongs out like normal, and he'll just stay on up the hill past everything that's stopped.
Trotting up past Constitution Hill. Okay. That's enough of that then. So yeah, Alex is obviously very keen on Crambo. I'm still quite hopeful for Irish Point. Ian, you've been a little bit quiet.
No, what?
Your heart broken by Marie's Rock.
He's quiet, OJ, because there's no Henderson horses in this race, so he's not in.
No, he very rarely has one in the Stayers Hurdle. I don't know if I was to pick one in a minute, I think it'd be Irish Point. Imperial Passe, I think this could be an afterthought. I think if he gets well beaten at the DRF, I think they might come here because obviously, is there any point? You might get some place money for third or fourth in Champion Hurdle, but again, does he stay 3 mile? Is it just purely an afterthought? I don't know, but yeah, I'll probably put it down to the 2 Rob Cause and Crambo, I think, at the minute.
I guess
maybe Dashel at a big price.
Looking at the top end of the market, it could change quite a bit, couldn't it? After the DRF, to be honest with you, things could switch around a lot, couldn't they? And we could be back going talking about they should take it a hoist in your back.
He's tired to Burley again.
Yeah, don't know, do we? One to watch over the coming weeks. Should we move on to some of the chasers, boys?
Yeah, let's have a look. What we got?
Champion Chase.
Champion Chase.
Now, this is a race where you're looking for somebody to finish third, isn't there, at a big price?
Yeah.
Basically copy and paste from the Champion Hurdle, isn't it?
Yeah. The front 2 are miles clear of everything else. Dino Blue will go mad, I would suspect.
Edward Stone's off to Ryanair.
Could go Ryanair. Bootle.
Just very quickly before we get into it, I thought the top 2 were actually a lot closer than that in the market. Got evens in 11 to 4. I thought the other day that I'd read that there was like a point between them. Anybody think John Bond's value there against Elfab, or are we thinking?
Yeah, no? Probably. I mean, if something happens to Elfab, then you can't be scared of the one horse, can you? So.
Nah.
Do you think they'll take each other on in the Clarence House or not?
Nicky will bottle it.
Yeah, probably.
Ian fuming. Right, anyway, carry on, lads. Sorry, I cut across rudely there.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think will finish third out of all those rest? I mean,
yeah.
Do you know what? It wouldn't shock me. Editor Digit at 40 to 1 for third. Fernie Hollow, as much as we love the horse, is.
If Fernie Hollow lines up
again
in the day, I will be having money on it, but I will not entertain any form of Ante-Post on him.
No, I'd want 33 to 1 there just for him to turn up.
I'd have a nice price for the Supreme and then a nice price for the Arkle. He didn't turn up for either of them, so I cannot back him unless he's actually going to run.
Alex, did you see a little bit of hope in Edwardstone last time?
I thought he was both runs he's had this season. I thought he was pretty good. Just John Bond's obviously just faster than him. I mean, although obviously he won an Arkle 2 years ago, he was an older horse running in that. I think he was 7 at the time, wasn't he, when he ran the Arkle? 7 or 8, so a little bit older than the rest in that field. I think stepping up to 2.5 miles makes sense to me. That Ryanair certainly looks a lot more winnable than this. I know Allaho's in it, but he's obviously got some chinks in the armour now, and there's a host of other horses in there. But I mean, Edwardstone's more than capable of putting it up to them, I think. And I think that's the right decision, stepping him up.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you've got to look. I'm not a massive fan, but Captain Guinness was second last year, wasn't he? And What price is he there now? 33s. Again, that's not a bad price for a horse that has already beaten a few of these in this race last year. Has he got any worse? Probably not. It's probably the same level as he was. He beat Edward Stone, didn't he, last year? He beat Editor de Gite last year. He beat Grenadine last year. And he's a bigger price than him. Pretty much, isn't he? Well, not
How about Gentleman de Me?
Yeah, that's a good shout, that, Johnny.
It makes you wonder whether you do some little each way sort of doubles between the champion hurdle in this race. Some of them at big price, just maybe 2 in each race, do some cross doubles. You might get a couple of places at 40 to 1 plus, mightn't you?
Yeah. 100 to 1 Dissect Dynamo. Is that to stay on his feet or?
I think he probably would have been third, wouldn't he, last year if he hadn't fallen? Is that right? Am I remembering that rightly? I'm not sure.
He's got a bit of a...
He's fell a few times at Cheltenham, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he fell both in the Supreme and the Arkle. So
in the Arkle, yeah.
Goes down like Luis Diaz.
He fell most recently as well, didn't he? Over Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Another one who hasn't quite fulfilled that potential. Yeah. It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, what can you say apart from the top two? But it's been like it's been a race that's been a bit like this for a few years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you only seem to get little handfuls. Yeah, it's similar sort of thing like normally to the Arkle, wasn't it? Used to have small fields. I think this could be
7 or 8 runners.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't really think
there'll be 7, won't there? So they won't give 3 places each way on the day.
Yeah, probably.
Bound to be. There always is.
But we'll all be, you know what, in if Fernie Hollow turns up.
Matty especially.
Don't get on that train if you want the toilet. If Fernie Hollow turns up, that's all we're saying.
What price is he non-runner no bet or Fernie Hollow?
Alex, don't.
I won't, but I'm just wondering.
Don't tell him.
I'm going to have a look. Bear with me.
I'm trying to load it up as well.
Champion Chase. Non-runner no. Oh. 12 to 1.
Oh, well, that... If he's 30 normally in 12s for non-runner no bet, that says it all, doesn't it?
That's hideous.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite a discrepancy in price, isn't it? What is it? 33 to 12s.
That's awful.
Yeah. So, yeah.
For horses, though, when was the last time he ran? 2 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Feels like 8 years, isn't it? 808 days it's been since he's run.
Oh my word!
But that would be a real Willie Mullins thing to do.
Imagine
turn out of the festival with a horse that's not run for 808 days and just wins on the snaff.
Absolutely bolts it.
It's not going to happen, but I would love it if it did.
Okay. Well, we'll leave that one there then. Not much to talk about, but we did say we weren't promising any miracles here or any magic selections. It's just a bit of chatter.
OJ, the miracle would be if Fernie turns up.
Yeah, if Fernie turns up, yeah. And bolts up. Ryanair, Ian?
Let's go Ryanair.
Well, we know after tonight's Ante-Post that Johnny's back on the defending champion.
Yeah.
9 to 1.
There's the 9 to 1.
That is a nice price, isn't it? To be fair, that's a very nice price. Was he around that last year when he won? What did he win at? It was about 8 to 1 or something, was it?
He was.
He was around about that. I think
13
at the time,
to 2.
then when Elaho come out, I think the prices went crashed in, didn't I? I think everybody went in on Envoy.
I was on him at 16s Ante-Post, I think, or 20s, but he won at 13 to 2.
I seem to remember it. Yeah, there was a bit of support late on, but I had it in my mind he was about 8, 9, something like that. So, yeah, nice. You know, He won it nicely last year. Yeah.
One of my
Anything?
favourite races last year. That was brilliant.
Anybody? Obviously, apart from Johnny, anybody?
I still like the stage star. I know he disappointed at Cheltenham on New Year's Day, but I'm willing to write that one off. He was carrying 12 stone. I don't think he'd done a jot on the ground. 7-1 being pushed out, I think, is a bit of an exaggeration, but he'll still be the one for me. But yeah, not the ideal run or prep. Whether he goes straight there on has another run, I'm not sure. But
I know he's giving mountains of weight, but
yeah,
I mean, did he just
stone at least
give up or what? Once he was beaten, did he give up in
oh yeah, I think he cobbed a new just to pull him out. I think he'd come out a bit sore as well from the race, so I think it was sensible to pull him up and see what happens the next time. But yeah, there
is a forgotten horse in this. Really, I know he's really ground dependent, but we haven't seen him yet. But nobody said a word about Banbridge.
Banbridge, he was my Gold Cup horse last year.
I love Banbridge, but he's obviously, you can't back him unless it's non-run and no back, can you? Because he got pulled out in the morning last year, didn't he? So
yes, he did. Yeah,
I was mightily pissed off. So I'm not going to fall into that trap again. But yeah, I think I'm not sure if he's got an entry for something.
Is it over here?
He's going in the Silvia Naco Conti Stakes on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So over 2.5. So it'd be interesting to see how he performs at the weekend.
And he might have kind of his ground. I think where it's been fairly cold and the ground might have hardened a bit. So he might be. See how he goes first time.
I mean, he's
still
up against
relatively young, isn't he? How old's Benbridge?
8.
He's 8. And he's up against Edward Stone and Pictor. He also got entries, so there's nothing really there that he couldn't beat, I don't think.
That old Jungle Boogie, an old favourite.
Jamie's favourite.
Yeah. But you look at some of these, OJ. Ahoy Senor, El Fabiolo, fast or slow. None of them will go. And then like all 33-1.
Yeah.
Not sure about Fildor. You've got Fugitive. I think somebody mentioned Protector. Who was it said about Protector at?
Nah. Forget it.
You even got conflated at 66-1. Who's now the favourite for the cross country? So Gerhard, Grenadine, they won't.
Finish that in. Favourite for the cross country, having never ridden over the cross country.
Favourite. Yeah, I think we're scraping the barrel here, OJ. That we've got Jeet and
it's notoriously a hard race to get right, this, isn't it? Because you get horses stepping up and horses dropping back.
Yeah.
Dysart and Hitman.
No, we'll all jump on Johnny's Ante-Post selection for the reigning champion to go in again. Follow up like Hallow did.
Shamblu 100-1.
Could be a Cheveley Part 1 too, couldn't it?
Is Edward Stone by Cheveley Park? Is he, OJ?
Oh,
He's going to be up there. Don't you worry about that.
I like it, Alex.
He's got a nice record at Cheltenham.
I like it, Al.
Yeah, happy with that one.
Happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think all we've got left to go up is it.
Gold Cup. Let's have a look. Here we go.
You on Santini, Ian?
Of course. Need my hat.
Galopin de Champ is into 6-5 now after everybody lost faith a couple of months ago.
I need to hold my hand up. In our previous video, I said about Jerry Colombe, and wow, I think in just galloping just wowed me. I was a bit skeptical, but yeah, I think it's, I don't know, Jerry Colombe's got to find, what was it, 10, 12 lengths, I think, on galloping up. I can't see it now, so I think I've any hopes. I thought that Jerry Colombe might have give galloping a race. I think have been well and truly scrubbed. I think fast or slow is definitely the threat. Even Gentleman's Game, I think, at 20-1 when he beat Brave Man's Game, and I thought that was a
He's
brilliant
actually got
performance.
fined £30 on the rating.
Yeah, 30. That's crazy. But I think he could
Is
be one.
Galloping rated 180?
That's his RPR 188.
His RPR is 184. His official rating is 180.
180.
Jesus.
That's what it says when you open up the racing. If you click on him, he's rated 180.
That's insane.
Put him in the Grand National and take him out on the day. Everybody be running off 10 stone.
Like, no one will get near him judging on going on ratings, will they?
Yeah, and did it
There's only Brave Man's Game within £12 of him.
Yeah.
You know,
22
I know
hours.
things can happen on the day and that, but
so again, looking further, it's mad, isn't it, when you think that Willie never won a Gold Cup before album photo, and when was his first? 5 years ago.
yeah, it's probably 5 or 6. Yeah.
Does Korak go here, Alex?
He's got to try, hasn't he?
I don't know. The thing is that they're trying to go for the Grand National again, aren't they? And probably running in the Gold Cup's probably not the best thing. And I don't know if they wanted to get his handicap mark down, they'd be better off finishing down the field in the Ultimate than finishing down the field in this.
Yeah, I guess
maybe.
And it would give the other one of their horses a nice little weight if they were to run in that Giovinco. If you had a Korak in there.
Nassalam, Johnny?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, of the ones further down, Nassalam, I'd just be interested in purely because of his form at the moment. And, he seems to have got his jumping, he's like a different horse from last year. So I'd love to see him. I mean, where else can he go now? They've got to give him a bash, surely. They put the entry in. Why not?
I mean, I said I was off the pace with the Christmas racing, but I did see a rerun of that Welsh National, and that was just...
Yeah, I mean, he's been bumped to 161 now, so he's got to go in this now, isn't he? He ain't winning a handicap ever again, is he?
Yeah.
So give him a go and just let him do what he did in that race and just see how he goes. He could pick up placement, who knows?
What about Hewitt, Johnny? If it was good ground on the day, would you back Hewitt? I know you're a big fan of him, aren't you?
Yeah, Hewitt's another one, isn't he? Again, did he fall in it last year?
Yeah, he was quite up. Wasn't he? Did he fall up two out or 3 out?
Yeah,
he was up there, wasn't he?
He's going all right as well.
Yeah, he was
going all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he fell heavily 2 out. He did look tired there. So, yeah, maybe if the ground was a bit better, perhaps. But I'd sooner take a horse like Nassalam, who has not been exposed to this sort of test yet. I quite like those first timers in this race that haven't gone through the pain barrier as such. So, yeah, I quite like Nassalam's profile for it as an outsider.
Stay away Faye there in the betting at 50-1. I mean,
won't even run in the race, though, will it? That's
they're not going to go there, are they?
No, I wouldn't have thought he'll probably go to the Browns, but
yeah, you've got to go for the easier race. I mean, he's only 7, isn't he? So
yeah,
mind you, Nassalam's only 7 actually as well. So maybe they wouldn't want to throw him in this a year maybe too early. But Galloping was 7, obviously when he won it, wasn't he? But it does take some doing.
I mean, the one thing you would say about Stay Away Faye for a young horse is that he does seem to be fucking hardy.
Yeah,
he seems tough as old boots, doesn't he?
He'd probably love this test, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
he would actually.
Maybe, but yeah, you kind of think maybe a year early.
About the real whacker at 66-1.
Not for me.
He stayed the Gold Cup. I know he won the Browns, but do you think that extra? I think he just made it, didn't he?
Yeah, he's not shown a lot this year, has he?
No.
Got pulled up, finished 4th. I prefer a horse that's sort of got into a bit of a rhythm and won a couple of races, or at least won one.
But then you would say with the whacker that with the owners and the trainer, they're going to want to go here, aren't they?
Oh
They
yeah.
want to have a run.
Yeah.
I can't believe Monkfish is in there as well.
Yeah.
The lesser seen Monkfish.
We go back down the Fernie Hollow discussion again there, haven't we? Really, to an extent. All right, I know.
He had 2 runs last year, OJ, although they were within like a week and a half of each other, which was completely bonkers considering he'd been off for so long.
Yeah, that was a strange one, that, wasn't it? Trying to get the extra run in last year. Not sure on the point of that.
Does Shishkin have a chance at the places?
I
He's
still
just
think he's the
become
one.
unreliable, hasn't he?
Yeah. It's not good with his refuse and fall. Well, no, we didn't fall. He was he unseated Nico,
yeah.
didn't he?
He might not start and he might not jump very well, but other than that, he's got a good chance.
I mean, that was right.
I'd want more than 10-1, to be honest, at this stage, especially.
Yeah, I want to see him probably have another run, I think.
Brave Man Games seems to just have seconditis, doesn't he? He can't get his head in front at all.
I think that Gold Cup's took it out of him. I think some horses it does, doesn't it, Elaine? They're not the same after the Gold Cup, but
4 second places in his last 5 races and a third. So, that says it all to me.
Yeah.
I'll be backing him.
No, I mean, you go back to the start of the discussion and the fact that Galopin's rated officially 180. I mean, it's, yeah.
I mean, long press could be interesting, but you'd want to see a run, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If he turned up on trials day and that Cotswold Chase and he won that one,
Yeah.
you'd probably think about backing him then, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah, definitely. And that might be one, Alex, to do that, to win today and win on March type bet. But you want to see the entry because he hasn't raced for over a year now, has he, since he unseated? So.
That Gentleman's Game as well. I still think he's a very good horse, but he just doesn't race very often. He races like twice a season.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good winning record, doesn't he? Really, like.
Yeah,
I think
Morris loves him.
I think he could be one. I think he'll finish in front of Jerry after that. I don't know that's from what I said on our last video, but yeah, I think after that last one, I think he could. I think that might be your 3: Galloping, Fast or Slow, and Gentleman's Game. I think they're your 1, 2, 3.
Oof, Ian calling it early.
Yeah, now.
Ian, you're aware
January, and he has just called the TriCast in the Gold Cup
in January.
That's why he's the boss, man.
Come on,
come on,
Rain Man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it from me, OJ, on that.
There we go, then, boys. I think nice bit of discussion. Galopins for the losing. Yeah, well. That was a good bit of fun, boys. We will see. And if we decide to put this out to the open world on YouTube, make sure that you get your comments in there. Tell us where we've gone wrong with our arguments and that we're talking absolute shite. Tell us where you agree with us. And if you've got anything that you really fancy, obviously chuck it in the comments. And tell your friends all about it. Get subscribed, sharing, and all that shmaloney. Matty will be back with us soon, and he'll have 2 Ante-Post bets for our next recording, we hope. And we happy gambling. Remember to gamble responsibly, and we will catch you all soon. Thanks for following.